Hello again, Vinyl community. Dan here, and this is Vinyl Fury. I've actually changed the name of the Vinyl updates. Been using Vinyl Update for a while, and obviously it works. It's a bit on the nose though, and kind of bland, I guess. Some of us have our own unique spins on that kind of thing. Additions, recent acquisitions, recent vinyl finds. Some of us have some pretty cool ones. And my own has been sitting right in front of my face the whole time. Vinyl Fury. Why not use that? So that's what I'm doing. I'm not going to start over as a new series or anything. I'll just, from here on, instead of Vinyl Update, it's Vinyl Fury number 70, whatever we're on now. So just wanted to make note of that real quick. I hope you've enjoyed the recent videos that I did for the Audio-Technica ET120 cartridge and the J.A. Michelle record clamp. I did a little demonstration and review of each of those, and they've gotten really good responses so far, so thank you. I hope some people researching those might find my videos helpful. Especially with the record clamp. I still haven't seen any other video representation of that clamp, and it's been around a long time. I think it's been around since the 80s in some form, and it has a loyal following. A lot of people use it, and but I haven't seen any video demonstration on how it actually works, so I really hope that was helpful. But I do have some new records to show. Stack, actually, 10 records for $10. I went to a place that I guess I would call my honey hole. I think most of us have that one spot that we go to where we've had repeat success in digging, and that's my spot. It's called Crossroads Music. I just talked about it recently in my cassette update, where I found 10 cassettes there, and I also found 10 records. And like I said, there's several different sections. Several different vendors have their own spot. And one of them has a dollar jazz section that I always find something in. But he has a big dollar section of marked down stuff. It's not a dollar because it's in crap condition or whatever. On each one you'll find a sticker underneath the dollar one that's usually like $4 or $5 up to like $8. So it was for sale at a higher price and just didn't sell there. So it's on clearance, I guess, if you will. And usually I find some stuff that I know that I'll like and everything, but in there I take a lot of chances. There's some stuff that I find that I don't know what it is, but it's $1, and usually it's in really good condition, or in some cases sealed, like a few of these are. So let me show you what I got. The Esquires Play. I like that cover. This is a sealed record. I have absolutely no idea what this is. But it is local. It came out in 1987 on Flying Heart, which is based here in Portland. And the address on here for Flying Heart is 4026 Northeast 12th Avenue, Portland, Oregon. I live on Northeast 12th Avenue, about 13 blocks away from where this was located, which is kind of strange. But they had a couple copies of this. The other ones I don't think were sealed, but they did have shrink wrap on them, and they were kind of loosely opened, like a flap that opened on the front or something. There's a bunch of people on the back of this record. No idea what each one of them does, but there are a few listed in the credits. A drummer, a bassist, keyboards, guitar, 4 vocalists, trumpet, alto sax, and tenor sax. So I have a feeling that it's not going to be very good, but I have no idea. Maybe I'll bring it back in a subsequent vinyl update to let you know what I thought of it. But I thought it was interesting. There was a very local record, and it was sealed for $1. Another sealed record. This was in his dollar rock section. Second Self, Time Bomb. And they looked like some kind of rock band. from the late 80s. This came out in 1988 on Rage Records. But the sticker says EMI Recording Artist Second Self, so maybe they got signed to EMI after this was released, and they were kind of promoting that. And there's a single from this called Aunt Jenny, in parentheses, Bless My Soul, which I looked up online, the video for it, and it's really not my kind of thing. It's very late 80s rock, a little bit of hair metal type of thing, but kind of Guns N' Roses-ish, but just didn't really do a whole lot for me. So I think I'll probably try to sell this for a few bucks, unless anyone watching is very interested in it. Let me know, I guess. But I thought I would take a shot, but I just didn't. And it's not worth to me opening and listening to the whole thing. I'll just try to move it along. The next few are some 80s pop albums, a couple of which I have no idea about, including this one, The Book of Pride. It's called Giant Steps, which was intriguing. Obviously there's another record called Giant Steps that I'm pretty familiar with. This is in 1988 on A&M Records, and I dropped the needle on this at the store, and it sounded very 80s but pretty cool to me. And there's a lot of synth drums, but they were pretty cool sounding samples, not just like the Casio boom 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 kind of 80s beats. It's kind of a heavy drum beat, so I only listened to a few seconds, but I was like, yeah, this interests me, I'll check it out. I haven't listened to the whole album yet. Till Tuesday, Welcome Home. And I've seen Till Tuesday records several times, and I know the name. I couldn't tell you a hit song of theirs, but I'm sure they have more than one. But I did not know that Amy Mann was the singer. I completely didn't know that. I'm aware of Amy Mann. She was even on Portlandia. I don't know if it was last season or the season before. But I did not know that that's her. This is from 1986 on Epic. So I listened to a little bit of this at the store, and seemed pretty good. I'll probably recognize something off this album, but it's my first Till Tuesday record, and that was $1. So if any of you have any thoughts on Till Tuesday or what their bigger songs were, let me know. And this one looked pretty cool. Keep It Dark. I like that name. First Down and 10. And this is from 86 on Elektra. And it looks like it's a 3-piece. And I think I listened to a little bit of this. And again, some 80s pop sound. And I'm sure that there's a bunch of bands from the 80s that just didn't quite break my level of awareness of music at the time. I mean, I remember listening to Tears for Fears even though I was a little kid. I remember hearing that kind of stuff on the radio. But I'm sure there was a slew of artists and bands that I'm still totally unaware of 25, 30 years later. So it's cool for me as a vinyl collector and a digger to kind of unearth this stuff that's just been lying around for decades, and I get to discover it. Looking forward to listening to this. And in my, I think it was my last vinyl update video, I showed a stack of records that I had found on the cheap, and one of those was by a fellow named Tom Grant, who's a local jazz artist. And I said that Dan Ballmer, who's a local jazz guitarist, was on there, who I was familiar with. So that's why I bought that record. And I found 3 more Tom Grant albums in the Dollar Jazz section there. This is called Night Charade, 1987. And Dan Ballmer also plays on this one, and this one is sealed. Heart of the City, on the same label as that first one that I got, PAUSA, 1984. Dan Ballmer also plays on this one. Same label. This is an earlier one, 1983, and you can definitely, that's 1983 right there. So yeah, 3 more Tom Grant records. Probably don't need any more than that. Like I said before, it's just kind of upbeat pop jazz kind of stuff, which is kind of cool to listen to once in a while for $1, and it's local. It's kind of interesting to me, so it was worth a few bucks to get those. This one I bought based on the record itself. I was intrigued. It's on this clear vinyl. It's kind of a bluish tint to it. It's very, very clear. And I didn't listen to it there. I figured I would just kind of be surprised when I took it home. And this is from a band called Affirmative Action, and it's called Escape to Nothing. And it's on a local label from Wilsonville, Oregon, which is about 15 miles south. It's called Rainforest Records, and this came out 1992. So I thought that was interesting. I listened to a track or two, and it's like really rough, kind of post-hardcore punk. Really rough. The band, I think, is from New York, actually. And it was okay. So kind of a bust on that, but it's $1, and I'm thinking I might be able to get a few dollars for it on Discogs or whatever. So it was worth a try. And lastly, David Sanborn Band, Promise Me the Moon, from 1977 on Warner Brothers. And I have several David Sanborn records that I picked up during my first 6 months of collecting. Some of them was like really popular pop jazz stuff from the 80s. Some of them from the early 80s or late 70s that are actually a little bit better. This had several tracks with vocals, and I'm not a huge fan of jazz vocals, but they weren't bad. They weren't super cheesy. I liked the photos on the back. It seemed like it's pretty legit, these people. But yeah, it wasn't a bad record. I'll keep it. I think people kind of attribute Kenny G-like vibe to David Sanborn, and I kind of get that, but he's not quite that cheesy. Not in my experience, anyway. But yeah, David Sanborn Band, $1. So those are the records that I got the other day at Crossroads. Some other stuff in the works, and I thank you for watching. Take care and enjoy your music.